There is something happening inside your home right now that no one ever warned you about. Not a broken pipe, not a drafty window, not something you can see or touch or fix with your hands. It is invisible, it is silent, and it has been quietly working against you for years. I want you to think about something. You work hard, you try to save, you do everything that's supposed to lead to financial security, and yet there are months when it feels like the money disappears before it ever had a chance to settle. Like water cupped in your palms, slipping through no matter how tightly you hold on. Most people blame the economy. They blame bad luck. They blame timing. But what the ancient teachers knew, what was passed down through generations of Buddhist monks, Taoist masters, and indigenous wisdom keepers, is that the space around your money matters just as much as the money itself. Where you place it carries weight. Where it rests determines whether it grows or quietly drains away. And today, I'm going to share something that very few people in the modern world still understand. There are 7 specific places inside your home, places you've probably used without thinking twice, that are energetically incompatible with prosperity. Places that don't just fail to protect your money, places that actively repel it. This is not superstition. This is not folklore. This is ancient observational wisdom about energy, space, and the invisible patterns that shape our material lives. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear may finally explain something you've felt for a very long time but could never quite name. If this kind of teaching speaks to you, if you've been searching for a deeper understanding of energy, abundance, and spiritual protection, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that bell. Because what we explore here at Monk Orion is not surface-level advice. It is the kind of wisdom that changes the way you see your life. Before we talk about the 7 places, I want you to understand something foundational. Energy is not just a spiritual concept. It is the underlying fabric of everything around us. The chair you are sitting in, the walls of the room you are in, the floor beneath your feet. All of it carries a frequency. All of it is in relationship with everything else. Ancient teachers understood this long before modern science could measure it. They understood that a home is not just a structure of walls and ceilings. It is a living energetic field. And every object within it, including money, is influenced by the quality of that field. Think of your home as a body. It has organs, it has channels through which energy flows. When those channels are clear and aligned, life flows easily. Opportunities arrive, resources multiply. There is a sense of ease, of rightness. But when those channels are blocked, when energy stagnates in certain corners, when certain spaces carry the wrong kind of vibration, the entire system slows down. And one of the first places you feel that slowdown is in your finances. Money is not just paper and metal. In the energetic sense, money is a symbol of flow, of exchange, of life force moving through the world. When you place it somewhere that disrupts its natural flow, somewhere heavy with the wrong kind of energy, you are not just storing money, you are burying it, and buried things don't grow. Now, let us walk through your home together. The first place is one almost everyone has used at some point in their life, under the mattress. I know, it feels safe, hidden, secure. There is something primal about the instinct to keep what's precious close to your body while you sleep, to lay down over it like a guardian. But here is what the masters understood. The mattress is sacred ground. It is where your body releases the weight of the day, where your mind descends into the deep waters of rest and restoration, where your nervous system finally exhales. It is, in the energetic sense, a place of letting go. And when you slide money beneath that space, when you tuck financial worry into the very place where your body is supposed to surrender, you create a collision. Two incompatible energies pressed together night after night. Your sleep becomes subtly disturbed, not dramatically, not always in ways you can consciously identify, but in that quiet, restless way where you wake up feeling like something is unresolved, like there is a weight you can't quite put down. And the man itself, it absorbs the energy of that space. It absorbs the heaviness, the tension, the compressed anxiety of a body trying to rest on top of its own fear. Money stored under the mattress becomes money infused with scarcity thinking, and scarcity thinking repels abundance. There is also this: the mattress bears weight, literally. The symbolism is not lost in the ancient teachings. Money pressed under that weight becomes energetically compressed, unable to move, unable to breathe, unable to attract more of itself. Prosperity requires circulation, it requires space, it requires air. Give your money room to breathe and watch what begins to shift. The second place may surprise you, because it is the heart of your home, the kitchen cupboard. In many cultures, the kitchen is considered sacred, the place where nourishment is created, where family gathers, where the alchemical act of transforming raw elements into something life-giving happens daily. And precisely because it is a place of transformation, it is the wrong place to store money. The kitchen is defined by change. Things enter it in one form and leave in another. Heat alters, time consumes. What is whole becomes divided. What is raw becomes spent. When money lives inside the kitchen cupboard, it absorbs the energy of that constant transformation. And in the financial sense, transformation without direction becomes instability. The ancient teachers were specific about this. Money needs an environment of stillness, not one of perpetual activity. The kitchen never truly rests. Even in the quiet hours of the night, it holds the residue of everything that was cooked, consumed, and cleared away. There is also the element of fire. The kitchen is the one room in your home most associated with heat, with flame, with burning. Symbolically, storing money near fire energy means watching it burn through your fingers, quickly, impulsively, in ways that feel almost involuntary. Have you ever had stretches where money seemed to just disappear? Not on anything significant, just gone, consumed by the ordinary friction of daily life? This is what the kitchen energy does to finances. It consumes quietly, without drama, without a clear explanation. Move your money out of the kitchen. Remove it from the element of fire. Let it rest somewhere cooler, calmer, more aligned with stability and preservation. The third place is one almost no one talks about: the bathroom. Now I understand why people hide things there. It is private. It is a room that most guests never fully enter. A hiding place that feels clever and discreet. But in the world of energy, there is perhaps no worse location in your entire home to place something you want to grow. The bathroom is a space of release, of purging, of letting things go down the drain. Its entire energetic purpose, in every tradition that has ever studied the flow of energy through living spaces, is cleansing, not accumulating. Water in motion is powerful for clearing, for washing away what no longer serves you, for releasing stagnant energy that has built up in the body and the spirit. But that same moving water, that same releasing energy, acts upon your money the way it acts upon everything else in that space. It moves it along, it sends it away. The old masters used to say, whatever you place in the space of release will eventually be released. It is not punishment, it is not bad luck, It is simply the nature of that energy acting according to its design. And there is something deeper here too. When a person hides money in the bathroom, there is almost always an underlying energy of fear driving that choice. Fear of it being found, fear of someone taking it, fear of loss. Fear and prosperity cannot occupy the same space. When fear is the guardian of your money, it becomes the energy that money absorbs. And money infused with fear will spend its entire existence trying to escape the thing that is holding it, which means it will find every possible way to live your life. Before we go further, I want to pause for just a moment. If something in these words is resonating with you, if you feel like this teaching found you at the right time, write in the comments below, "I am open to receiving abundance." Let that be your declaration. Let the community here witness it. There is power in speaking your intention out loud, even in written form. Do it now and then come back. The fourth place is one that defines modern life. Anywhere near your electronic devices. Your television, your computer, the drawer beside your phone charger, the shelf where your router sits and hums all through the night. I want you to consider what electronics actually do on an energetic level. They emit, constantly, electromagnetic fields that pulse and radiate in every direction. The energy of electronics is fast, erratic, fragmented. It never fully rests, it never settles. Even when a screen goes dark, the field it generates continues its invisible transmission. Now consider what that kind of energy does to money stored nearby. The ancient wisdom on this point is consistent across traditions. Money needs an environment of settled, stable, grounded energy in order to accumulate. It needs a frequency of patience, of rootedness, of calm intention. Electronic energy is the opposite of all of those things. Money stored near electronics absorbs the frequency of that space. And what is that frequency? Urgency, stimulation, distraction, impulse. Is it any wonder that people who habitually keep money near their devices often find themselves spending impulsively, reaching for purchases they didn't plan, feeling a restless dissatisfaction that only spending seems to temporarily quiet? The energy of the device transmits itself into the energy of the money, and money, carrying the vibration of electronic chaos, does not accumulate. It spends itself, quickly, often on things that provide momentary relief rather than lasting value. There is also the deeper psychological truth here. Electronics are where we go to escape, to distract, to numb. When money lives in that same space, it becomes associated, energetically and psychologically, with consumption rather than cultivation. Move your money away from the screens, away from the signals. Let it rest somewhere quiet, somewhere the air doesn't hum. The fifth place is above you, the attic. There is something poetic and deeply said about this one, because people who store money in the attic are often people who worked incredibly hard to accumulate it. People who saved carefully, who sacrificed, who tucked away what they could over many years. And yet the attic, with all of its good intentions, may be one of the most prosperity-blocking locations in the entire home. Here is why. The attic is the place of forgotten things. Walk into any attic and you will find the objects of lives half-lived, relics of old ambitions, things that were once important and have now been set aside. The attic is where things go when we are no longer quite sure what to do with them. And money stored there absorbs that identity. It becomes forgotten money, inaccessible money, money that exists but cannot be easily reached, cannot circulate, cannot do the work that money is designed to do in a flourishing life. There is also the symbolic elevation to consider. In the energetic architecture of a home, what is above us is what we cannot yet grasp. The attic sits over our heads, literally beyond our everyday reach. Money stored there becomes money that feels distant, money that feels like it belongs to some future version of yourself that hasn't arrived yet. And here is the difficult truth about that. If your money feels distant, you will keep treating it as distant. You will keep spending as though it doesn't exist. You will keep making financial decisions from a place of perceived lack, even when the savings are technically there. Prosperity must be present in your awareness. It must feel real, accessible, tangible, not sealed behind the huts in the ceiling where the air grows stale and the spiders build their quiet kingdoms. Bring your resources back into the living space of your life, into the rooms you breathe in, into the energy field you inhabit daily. The sixth place is one many men in particular gravitate toward, the garage. The garage is a threshold space, neither fully inside nor fully outside, a place of comings and goings, of projects half finished, of things in transit. It is where you park what is temporary, where you store what doesn't quite fit anywhere else. And transit energy, the energy of things constantly moving through rather than staying, is perhaps the energy most antithetical to financial accumulation. The ancient teachers were clear. For money to grow, it must rest. It must have a home, a true home, not a waypoint. The garage is a space of perpetual motion, even in stillness. Something about it always feels temporary. And money that rests in temporary spaces develops a temporary nature. Have you ever gone through a season where money seemed to arrive and disappear at exactly the same rate? Where income matched outflow so precisely that no progress was ever made? Where it felt like you were running on a treadmill, all movement, no destination? That is garage energy applied to finances. Constant circulation with no accumulation, motion without momentum. There is also something important about how we emotionally relate to the garage. For most people, the garage is not a cherished space. It is not a room we tend with care or decorate with intention. It is utilitarian, functional, often cluttered. When you store money in a space you do not respect, you teach yourself, slowly, subtly, not to respect the money. And money that is not respected has a remarkable tendency to find its way toward those who do respect it. Value what you have, honor where you keep it. That alignment alone can shift something significant. And the seventh place, this one is in your workspace, the office drawer, the desk. I know this feels counterintuitive. The desk is where financial decisions are made, where bills are reviewed, where planning happens. Surely keeping money close to that activity makes sense? But here is what the masters understood, and what modern stress psychology quietly confirms. The desk is saturated with pressure. It is where deadlines live, where problems accumulate, where the mental burden of responsibility settles in and makes itself comfortable. Even if you love your work, the desk carries the energy of effort, of solving, of never quite being done. Money stored in that environment absorbs all of it. It becomes money associated with stress, with urgency, with a feeling that there is never quite enough time, never quite enough resources, never quite enough of anything to feel truly secure. And here is the subtle damage that does over time. When your nervous system associates money with stress, it begins to unconsciously resist accumulating it. Because on some deep primal level, more money begins to feel like more responsibility, more pressure, more weight. Prosperity should feel like relief, like expansion, like breath moving freely through an open chest. When money lives at the desk, it begins to feel like work. And the soul quietly, consistently moves away from things that feel like more work. Store your money somewhere your body relaxes, somewhere you feel safe, somewhere the air is calm and the energy is settled. Give it the environment of peace, and it will begin to carry that peace into every corner of your financial life. Now I want to tell you something that the ancient teachers always saved for last. Knowing where not to store your money is only the beginning. The deeper teaching, the one that separates those who understand prosperity from those who merely pursue it, is this. The relationship between you and your money is a living relationship. It is not transactional, it is not mechanical, it is energetic, emotional, and deeply personal. Money responds to how you feel about it. It responds to how you speak about it, even in the privacy of your own mind. It responds to the spaces you assign it, to the attention you give it, to the gratitude you extend toward it, even when the amount feels small. There are people in this world with very modest incomes who live in a constant state of abundance. Not because they have more money, but because their relationship with money is rooted in respect, in gratitude, in trust. And there are people with substantial savings who live in a constant state of scarcity. Because their inner relationship with money is one of fear, of distrust, of desperate clinging. The ancient wisdom is unanimous on this point. Prosperity is an inside condition that expresses itself outward. The places you store your money matter, but the energy you bring to those places matters more. So here is what I want to leave with you. Find a place in your home that feels calm, organized, safe. A place you feel good walking into. A drawer you open with intention rather than urgency. A shelf that is clear of clutter, clear of chaos. Place your money there. And when you do, take one breath, one conscious, grateful breath. Say, silently or aloud, I honor what I have, I am grateful for what is here, and I am ready for more. That small ritual, repeated with consistency, does something remarkable over time. It reprograms the relationship. It replaces fear with trust. It replaces grasping with receiving. It transforms the energy of your entire financial life. Not through some mystical intervention, but through the quiet, daily act of treating your resources as sacred, because they are, and so are you. If this teaching moved something in you today, if something here described exactly what you've been living, I want to hear about it. Write in the comments. What is the one shift you are committing to make after watching this? Where will you move your money? What energy are you choosing to surround it with? Share it below. Your declaration matters, and this community is here to witness it. You have been walking a long road, maybe longer than most people around you realize. You have carried things quietly. You have worked hard, worried quietly, hoped patiently. You have wondered more than once whether the abundance you feel called toward will ever truly arrive. I want to tell you something. It will. Not because of luck, not because of perfect timing, but because awareness, true, deep, spiritually grounded awareness, is the first movement of transformation. You came to this video today. That was not an accident. That was not coincidence. In the tradition of every master I have ever studied, the student arrives at the teaching precisely when they are ready to receive it, and you are ready. The places you store your money matter, the energy of your home matters, the relationship you hold with your own resources matters. These are not small things, they are the invisible architecture beneath the visible life. Begin where you are, change what you can change today, and trust, with the quiet, unshakable trust of someone who has finally understood something true, that the energy you realign today will bear fruit in ways you cannot yet imagine. Prosperity is not something that happens to you, it is something that flows through you. Clear the channel, honor the flow, and let it come. If these teachings are part of the path you want to walk, if you are ready to go deeper into the wisdom of energy, prosperity, protection, and inner transformation, subscribe to this channel and become a true part of this community. You can also support this work with a super thanks below. Every contribution helps keep these teachings alive and reaching the people who need them most. This work exists for you, and I am grateful you are here.